it goes. Hey, let me tell you a story about the other night, one of the rowdier nights I've seen. And it happened right here. Yes, sir, that's right here at Post 118. I showed up at 5 o'clock. I was ready to blow off a week's worth of steam. Pulled into my spot, grabbed my personal cup, and stepped into the old canteen. As soon as I got through the door, saw the regular crowd, plus a few more. There was Mikey and Brownie and Donnie and Swatch and some tall guy in a brown coat. Up at the bar sat Heather and Dee, with Mama T right beside, and a few gathered around the pull crack machine, with Shane in the front of the line. There was riders from Avon and Mooresville posts, and maybe one or two more. And the DJ was out in the shelter house with a night's entertainment in store. Sammy was slinging the cocktails and beers just like every Friday night this year, but she looked kind of troubled, which wasn't the norm. So I walked up and asked her, hey, what's going on? She told me the Coke machine's on the fritz again, half the dartboards is broke. Jimmy Mac's trying to light up a pack, even though he knows we won't let him smoke. Ray's being loud, it's a hell of a crowd, even with treasure hunt coming on. I need to stock beer, Pops ain't even here, and Linda tied one on. Well, I got my drink and walked back out the door to the smoke shack, though I don't smoke. But I'll sit on a chair on the porch up there and listen while Denny tells jokes. Denny wasn't around, but you know who I found was old Jim D. He was into the beam just a little, it seemed, and he started talking to me. Jim said, hey, did you see that stuff in the pole barn the son's put in? It's taking up a lot of space in there. I said, what's that stuff, Jim? That stuff by the door, he said once more, for the thing next week going on. It's taking up too much goddamn space. It's been in the way for too long. Well, I asked him what he thought should be done, and he looked at me for a while. Then he finally cocked his head and said, it's too damn loud inside. I hate rap music. And I decided to leave it at that. I just nodded my head and walked inside to get a drink. Well, I sat down inside with my empty cup, with a bar full end to end. So I turned to a stranger next to me and asked, what brings you in? He acted surprised that someone cared and said, man, let me tell you what. I found myself on State Road 39 after about a week of bad luck. On Monday, my wife ran over my dog. On Tuesday, the bank took my truck. On Wednesday, the boss gave me that pink slip. And Thursday, I drank down the rest of my luck. So today, being Friday, saw the treasure hunt sign, figured I'd stop on by. Thought I'd try my hand at that $9 grand, but in I walked, and to my surprise, I saw that guy over there, the Sasquatch looking one by 6 different rounds of shots. He passed some around, dropped some on the ground, and the bartender yelled, knock it off, Josh! An old man with a beard's been hurting my ears. I had to get up and walk away. So I found myself next to Doug and his nephew discussing the shit from that day. They was talking and joking when out of the blue, an older dude wandered by. On his way to the John, he said, what's going on with that new bar top outside? He expressed his concern for the manner in which the construction had been executed. He was spitting and cussing and pitching a fit. A Mikey Brown don't take no shit. I said, you know Mikey Brown? He looked at me and said, everyone knows Mikey Brown. So I looked at the brown-coated stranger and asked, what happened then? But before he could even open his mouth, Marty Delaney busted in. He shouted a warning that sounded most dire. Hey, I need help putting out this fire! So me and some guys jumped up to our feet, out of the building and into the street. We all looked around, but we couldn't discern the flame he'd been talking about. Till I spotted smoke spitting sparks and I stepped on that cigar butt to put it out. We all started giving old Marty some shit for breaking in, making a scene, when I caught a whiff of a doob or a split, and I turned to look for Dee. She was there in the corner, just chilling out. But boy, once she saw me, she threw down the roach, made a rapid approach, and said, hey brother, can't you see? Well, she told me about here, and she told me about there, and she told me about that and this. She started to tell me about lots and lots more, but said, "Oh, hold on, brother, I gotta piss." So I snagged my chance and went to talk to Chance Mitchell out in the shelter house. He was 15 deep and not ready to sleep, with a big old cope in his mouth. Karaoke was in full swing. Mikey, Brownie, and Darren were doing their thing, and Chance turned to me and he said, "Hey, you ever think about fucking a rhinoceros in the ass?" So as I was walking away, heading back into the old canteen, I happened to see, most fortunately, the brown-coated stranger again. He was heading my way across the sidewalk, and I slowed my roll of pace. When he caught up to me, he said, "It's nice to see this post is such a lively place. Your commander's inside looking fighting mad because someone asked about a new bar top, and the indoor crowd's getting mighty loud, but at least the bartender's hot." I laughed and said, "Well, stranger, that makes me real happy to hear. Why don't you grab us both a seat outside, and I'll grab us both a beer." So I headed inside, ordered around, and then with 2 bottles in hand, I was walking past the games and saw a group from the kickstand. You know that other bar up the street? They got some characters in there too. This outside crowd's acting stupid and loud when one guy saw me. He looked at his shoes. Well, I stopped in my tracks when I saw that face that had previously got kicked out of this place. So I leaned in and smiled and said, "Don't forget, the Mikey Brown don't take no shit." With the crowd in a ruckus, I headed back out to the shelter house to sing me a song. When the stranger, he was on his way to his truck, and I asked, "Hey stranger, what's wrong?" He smiled a bit and said, "Nothing's wrong, man. I've had a great time, so thanks. And by the way, you don't have to call me stranger, stranger. The whole world calls me Frank." Well, after that, the night went real well. We laughed and joked and sang, and I bet we'll see that stranger around a time or two again. And now that it's late, you know how it goes. Some keep hanging out, some left hours ago.